Alexis, maybe you're also more the technical guy. For what you guys want to do, like this digital twin thing seems so obvious, right? And like making a physical project also available digitally. Do we need the blockchain for that? Do we need NFTs for that? Or could you just come up with a nice database and everyone is happy?
Yeah, we thought about it. So we actually started as specifically in digital twins, right? We didn't start as a Web3 startup. We didn't start with blockchain. And we came to the point where we said, okay, we understand the key aspect of interoperability. They need, like, one of the important things of digital twins and why most companies use it today is so that they can share them with other systems and they have a common understanding of what it represents. So, but there is one big challenge that we had, specifically the technical and practical challenge, that was how do we handle the ownership and who is able to modify it and who has access to it to make changes to it. How do we do that? Because trying to think, oh, we're just going to make a big database and say we are the database that is saying who owns what products and who made what products and you got to trust us, was a big, this is just not feasible, right? This is how you become that. It just makes no sense. And here is where actually Christian was the one that was bringing the topic of Web3.
And I was critical of blockchain before.
This has to be noted here.
Yeah, we all. Right?
I wasn't.
And started to think, hey, there is this thing of NFTs, and there's this thing with blockchain where basically could potentially solve the problem of the trust issue. And then we started to look deep into it, because basically it started as a discussion of, okay, let's try to find the hole on why blockchain doesn't work for us and why blockchain doesn't solve this problem for us. And it was a very critical discussion where, after trying to poke holes everywhere, we said, currently this is the best solution we have to solve our problem of how do we bring our twins out there in a way that then how to transfer them, who has the ownership of it. It's not, you don't need to trust us for that. And this is the specific pain point that we said, okay, we need this. And any other serious attempt at open digital twins need to involve blockchain technology to be able to do that. Specifically because we were thinking of this of what happens when we go to a company and we make the digital twins, and they say, well, what happens if Twino goes out of business? You're a startup after all. And say, what happens to my twins? They just disappeared, all the links are broken now. And here is where it just fits so well. And there is also another reason, and another case where blockchain is becoming more apparent to be a great solution, and it's in the case of the digital product passport. Because, so this is part of the legislation that is coming into the European Union and is being discussed. It's going to start with batteries and fashion in the following years, where basically you have the product and then you have a digital passport of the products, which it contains all the information of its origin, manufacturer, year of production. And this information had to outlive the product, and this information has to be in a way that is openly accessible, and that it is immutable, or that you cannot easily manipulate it without keeping a record of it, and it has to be really, really persistent. And how do you do that? Well, you have two options. You have one very big database of the European Union, where you just trust them and you have to make everything through them. Or you have something like blockchain, and they are actively looking at blockchain, because even if the data layer ends up in something like IPFS, or let's say something more permanent like Airwave, that's a perfect way to do it. You do it there, you know that it's going to be there for a very, very long time, and it's not the same as, oh, we're going to trust your company to keep those links alive, even 10 years you go out of business.